Picture this. The deep, glossy curve of a fender emerges from the shadows. Polished chrome gleams under soft garage lights, just reflecting a world gone by. The hood ornament, maybe a leaping jaguar or a winged goddess, catches the first rays of sunrise. You run your hand along the handcrafted steering wheel, feel the smooth walnut under your palm, and watch the analog gauges flicker to life with a gentle click. Somewhere, a concours event is underway. Rows of vintage machines sit proudly on manicured lawns. Judges in blazers inspect the perfection of paint and the authenticity of every detail. In a small workshop, artisans gently restore a forgotten classic, sanding, polishing, and coaxing beauty from every curve. Out on winding country roads, the cars come alive. Engines singing, bodies gliding through sunlight and shade. This isn't just transportation, it's an experience. It's a living gallery. Classic cars are rolling works of art, shaped as much by culture and craftsmanship as by the road itself. From restoration shops to scenic drives, the story of the vintage automobile is a story of human creativity and passion. Let's take a closer look. We often think of cars as tools or appliances, but vintage cars are different. They connect us to an era when style, skill, and status mattered as much as speed. These machines weren't just built, they were sculpted, designed, and dreamed into existence. Every curve and detail was chosen for beauty as well as function. There's a reason people call classic cars rolling art. They're mobile sculptures, crafted by designers who saw themselves as artists. The best vintage cars weren't stamped out on assembly lines. They were drawn, hammered, and polished by hand. That's why they look and feel so special today. And when you drive one, you sense the difference right away. The sound, the smell, even the way the doors close. It all tells a story of care and tradition. These cars remind us that engineering and design can be as creative as painting or music. They are art you can hear, touch, and drive. In the earliest days of motoring, cars weren't mass-produced. Instead, each one was painstakingly assembled by skilled hands. The frame, the engine, even the smallest parts were often shaped and finished by craftsmen. It took weeks or months to finish a single car. The result? Each automobile was a symbol of prestige and artistry. Back then, owning a car meant more than getting from A to B. It meant you had arrived. Only the wealthy could afford these incredible machines. Carriages and luxury goods were still made by hand, and so too were the first automobiles. The level of attention and pride in every part set a standard that still inspires collectors today. You can see this heritage in every detail. From the gleam of a polished radiator cap to the intricate woodwork inside, early cars feel like fine furniture on wheels. This was an era when the mark of a master craftsman meant everything. Even now, those hand-built classics capture the imagination of young and old alike. As cars became more popular, a new tradition emerged: coach building. Wealthy clients would buy a chassis and engine from a manufacturer, then hire a coach builder to design and build a unique body. These artisans, names like Figoni et Falaschi, Pininfarina, and Mulliner, turned cars into one-of-a-kind masterpieces. Coach builders borrowed from the world of fine carriages and architecture. They worked with wood, steel, and aluminum, often by hand, without any shortcuts. Every curve, every seam, every detail was built to a client's taste. No two coach-built cars looked exactly alike. Some were flamboyant, with sweeping fenders and bold colors. Others were subtle, with reserved elegance and refined lines. This era produced some of the world's most beautiful vehicles. Many still set records at auctions today. Coach-built cars are prized not just for their rarity, but for the artistry and individual vision behind each one. They stand as proof that cars could be as creative and personal as any painting or sculpture. Walk around a classic car and you'll notice something right away. The body itself is a sculpture. Designers in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s were inspired by the flowing curves of Art Deco. Fenders stretched like waves, headlights sat in chrome pods, and grills took on the form of cathedrals or jewelry. Every surface was shaped for style as well as function. Streamlining became the rage, inspired by trains, airplanes, and even ocean liners. Designers like Harley Earl and Jean Bugatti blended aerodynamics with artistry, creating silhouettes that looked fast, standing still. The result was a sense of motion and grace, frozen in metal. These sweeping lines weren't just for show. They reflected a time when designers dreamed big and dared to be bold. Some of the most famous classics, The Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic, the Talbot Lago Teardrop, look more like sculpture than machinery. They are reminders of a golden age, when car design was about imagination as much as engineering. Behind every beautiful vintage car is a story of hours, sometimes hundreds, spent shaping metal by hand. Artisans used hammers, wooden bucks, and their own eyes to create the fenders, doors, and hoods. Each panel had to fit perfectly with gaps measured in millimeters. This was craftsmanship in its purest form. The tools were simple, but the skill level was sky high. Shaping a curve, making it smooth and even, took years to master. Mistakes weren't hidden by plastic or paint. They had to be fixed again and again until every surface was flawless. The work was physically demanding but intensely satisfying. Some metalworkers became legends. Their signatures, hidden on a frame or inside a panel, are treasured by collectors. Even today, restorers work to keep these old skills alive, using traditional methods whenever possible. Every time you see a vintage car gleaming in the sun, you're looking at the result of expert hands and endless patience. No discussion of vintage cars is complete without the small stuff, the chrome strips, hood ornaments, and badges that catch the eye like fine jewelry. These details were made with the same care as a goldsmith crafting a ring. Some ornaments were cast hand-polished and even signed by famous artists. Grills were more than just air intakes. They became faces of brands. Think Rolls-Royce's stately grille or Packard's bold waterfall design. Emblems told stories linking cars to family crests, aviation, or local legends. Even the smallest trim pieces, door handles, mirrors, hubcaps, were shaped to add flair and personality. Each detail was a final touch, a way for designers to show off their skill and creativity. Today, these elements are some of the most cherished parts of a classic car. Restorers spend hours making sure every piece shines like new, and when you see a vintage car up close, these little accents bring the whole design to life. Step inside a classic car, and you enter another world. The smell of leather, the warmth of polished wood, the cool touch of chrome switches. It's all a feast for the senses. Early car interiors were crafted like the best salons or drawing rooms. Everything was built by hand, tailored to fit the car, and finished with the kind of care you'd find in a luxury yacht or grand piano. Gauges were analog, often set in ornate clusters with delicate lettering and backlit faces. Switches clicked with authority, and every knob was shaped for comfort and style. Seat upholstery was hand-stitched and piped, sometimes color-matched to the exterior. Even the floor mats and door sills were chosen for their look and feel. No two interiors were exactly alike. Some were sporty and minimal, others lavish and dramatic. Owners could choose fabrics, leathers, and finishes to suit their tastes. The result was an environment that felt personal, inviting, and utterly unique. Today, sitting in a well-preserved vintage car is like stepping back in time, a reminder of what artistry and craftsmanship can do.